Yo, what is up, guys? Today we're reacting to a video by Established Context. It's called Why Fast Food is Panicking Over Higher Food Prices, or Higher Prices Now. Wow. But yeah, have y'all noticed, if y'all are old enough to be out there in the economy buying your own food and stuff, or even if you go like to fast food, shit ain't the same. Oh, I can't cuss. Hold up. My bad, guys. Things aren't the same. And I'm just thinking back to like 10 years ago, 7 years ago. Food was like, oh, you could get a meal for like $12, $7 for a small meal. Maybe if you just want like 2 or 3 things, it might run you like, I don't know, $5, $6. But now, if you want like, if you want a drink, a side, if you just want a drink and a side, that's already $8. If you want a drink, a side, and a meal, you're looking at 15, 20, 15 on the low end. Honestly, if you're getting fast food and you're getting $15 worth, you're either using discounts or some other shit. I don't know, because things are getting crazy. Let me not ramble. Let's get right into it.
There's been a lot of talk online and in the news about how much fast food prices have gone up over the recent years.
Once home to the dollar menu, prices at the Golden Arches leaving a bad taste in the mouth of consumers who just want value.
Some restaurants are continuing with price hikes, while others are getting desperate with attempts to offer more deals in hopes of increasing traffic.
Restaurants don't cut prices for.
See, the thing with that is they're trying to give us deals, but in comparison, those deals aren't even deals. Like McDonald's, best example. $5, and this is where the term shitflation comes into play. It's like, oh, we're raising prices, but we're still giving you the same shit, or even less of it at a worse quality. But hey, it's in the name of profits, guys, right? The company's gotta make their money.
This is for fun. Did consumers essentially force your hand by being fed up?
Customers are telling us that they're really stretched.
Now, we all know inflation has been rampant since
Especially McDonald's. People love McDonald's because it's like the dollar store of fast food. Now it's regular price. Shit, even with Dollar Tree, $1.25 minimum, and maybe not minimum. Shit, there's like below $1, but still, they raised their shit up to $5. And it's like, why is that happening? Is it because the economy is just that bad? Is it money? Like, is it really just capitalism, Like, I'm trying to figure out the answer with y'all.
the beginning of 2020 when the pandemic happened.
Grocery prices in some cases are falling. Fast food prices are rising, and these CEOs, they know it. They're hearing these complaints.
But what's really going on here? I mean, are fast food companies trying to pull a fast one on us, price gouging under the cover of inflation?
Fast food places in general, y'all better watch your goddamn ass.
Is this just plain old corporate greed like many have claimed?
Who told y'all?
See, that's what I think, because I don't, now mind you, I'm just a regular consumer. I don't think production costs have changed that much. If anything, it's probably gotten cheaper. Wages, cost to operate, taxes, maybe that's gone up, but still, for what the quality of shit we're getting. Hey, but hey, in the end, we still buy it.
Was that good to be charging that much for y'all food?
Or is there more to this story?
Fast food used to mean inexpensive.
Going viral, the Big Mac meal priced at $18 at a Connecticut rest stop.
Well, in this video, I'm going to try to get to the bottom of it.
That's
Wikipedia
crazy.
defines price gouging as a pejorative term used to refer to the practice of increasing the prices of goods, services, or commodities to a level much higher than is considered reasonable or fair by some. This commonly
especially when there are shortages, and we've seen greedy people do that. Like when PlayStations and Xboxes came out, people bought them and sold them for double, triple the price. Bro, fast food restaurants, they're getting hella greedy. They're trying to add surge pricing. That's ridiculous. New York, they added like a toll just for driving the fucking road. That's crazy, bro. Like, come on. And they're already throwing ads in our faces. They're underpaying workers. Maybe not fast food because we're laws, but you know what I mean? Like, there's all this shit that they're trying to get money off of us from, nickeling and diming us, when in the grand scheme of things, it's ruining the consumer's health. Which, never mind. The companies don't care about us anyways.
only applies to the price increases of basic necessities after natural disasters. Usually this event occurs after a demand or supply shock, like say a global pandemic. Harvard Business School says there's no rule for what qualifies as price gouging, but it's not an uncommon occurrence. For example, EpiPen costs and Uber price surges are both examples of price increases that have been considered unfair. But what's the difference between price gouging and inflation? While price gouging is
Okay, real quick. Actually, I'm gonna just
often the result of a business decision, inflation is a general increase in the prices of goods and services over time and is directly impacted by the market. And while 40 states across the country have laws in place to ban price gouging, there is currently no federal price gouging prohibition. And this makes it a difficult thing to enforce because so many supply chains are nationwide. And as a result, states face heightened challenges when trying to protect consumers from price gouging. So in my opinion, price gouging is a rather nebulous concept. It often lacks clear-cut depictions, and it's not only a practical question, but also a moral one. However, with
I would say price gouging could be considered. Okay, I'm gonna just throw out examples instead of a definition. Uber, oh my god, especially when you have a monopoly and you look at your competitors and people would rather choose you. Uber, fucking a lot of these car companies, Dior, Louis Vuitton, these designer brands that make shit for cheap, less than $100. Personally, if you're selling anything 10x, 50x the profit, unless it costs $10 to make and you're selling it for, you know what I mean? Like, if you're selling something for over $1,000 and that shit costs you less than $100 to make, to me, that's pretty dirty. Especially when there wasn't, like, it's the whole ethics things with businesses and Chinese, like Temu, Shein, labor ethics. I don't want to go into it because it's not the point. We're talking about fast food prices. So price gouging is that shit where a company or something that people want to get consumed from has a monopoly. Facebook, Meta, and they're like, okay, we could do whatever we want with our prices because people aren't going to go anywhere because they're quote unquote loyal to us. But it's like, no, whenever that shit happens, it's usually because y'all held a face as a brand, as a company. And then you decide, okay, we had this many people here, let's switch up what we're doing, you know?
With this fast food dilemma, it's not just about high prices here. It's also about prices that seem disconnected from costs and the actual products themselves.
Bro, $3 for some fucking fries? $3 for fries and then like 50 cents more for a size up. Like, you might as well just get the size up, but then it's like also $3-4 for a drink. Like, that shit's ridiculous. Then I'm paying $6-8 for the main thing I want. Come on.
So whether specific fast food companies have engaged in price gouging,
like at this point, fast food places, it's better to just go to restaurants for the most part. Like, if you're eating better food, healthier food for like $10 more than what you would usually pay. And shit, if we started going to restaurants, small businesses, we'd probably eat out a lot less, you know? Like, damn, I spent $30 on this meal instead of $30 at fucking Chick-fil-A or Popeyes. And now I got leftovers, and this shit's good, and it's a different type of food I would have never had, because we all know fast food does the same shit. You're not gonna get variety, you're not gonna learn new foods. But if instead of eating fast food 3-4 times a week, we went out and ate at a restaurant twice, we had a at-home meal once a week, like a TV dinner, and then we actually cooked something, so we have food once or twice. Bam. That way you're only going out to eat 8 times a month. Like, is that too hard to ask? You know, I'm just saying. Because realistically, as consumers, we could really show these companies what's up. I'm not trying to incite anything. I'm just saying consumers have pull, and we don't flex our leverage.
For debate, what certainly isn't is how much prices have increased over the years. And the
Can't price gouge if nobody's willing to buy shit.
real question then becomes, is it justified? Finance Buzz released a staggering report on fast food prices over the last decade.
Okay, Subway. I've seen Subway's prices. I used to work at a Subway. Shit's been crazy, especially from 2020 to 2024. Okay, Subway used to be $5 footlongs. You can see all that. Over here, everything was like $10, $12 for a meal. 2020, we start to get to like $13, $15, bro. At Subway, I'd see people pay $17 just tacking shit on their sandwich. I'm like, ew, dude, you're really paying this much for this? And then some people would make like $20 sandwiches, and I'm like, yeah, I know, that's actually lit. There's the actual inflation rate. That's crazy. But now, if you go to Subway, you're paying $17 for a sub. You're paying $15 regular, unless you want a veggie burger. And I'm not talking about the veggie patty, just like no meat, just cheese. That's the cheapest option, and that'll still be like $11. Although $11 for a footlong is not bad, but then again, you're not getting meat. You're just getting bread and veggies, sauce. Shit's still pretty good, and if you have a discount. Okay, if y'all eat fast food, I recommend getting the apps, because like whenever I go out to eat, I get an app for the place, and Panda Express, Chick-fil-A, not Chick-fil-A, we don't have one out here. Panda Express, Arby's when times gets tough, Popeyes, Subway, you know, those shits, they come in handy.
And it showed some very interesting stats, claiming McDonald's is king when it comes to price hikes over the years.
Yeah, that price inflation
citing
is
a
crazy.
100% increase to their prices from 2014 to 2024. Now, to understand how we got here, let's just rewind for a second. Fast food in its early days was built on 2 core promises: speed and affordability.
Yep.
Now, with its initial success, it really started to become a symbol
Fast
of
and
American
cheap.
culture. What the food may have
The whole point fast food blew up, in my opinion, is fast food is cheap, easy, so Americans can work, and when they come home, they can focus on work instead of their kids. You know, they could just give their kids some fast shit and then go back to focusing on work. They could give their kids cereal, give their kids a Happy Meal. I don't know, bro. Fast food, because never mind, I'm not gonna go in conspiracy mode.
have lacked in quality, it ultimately made up with cheaper prices and the
Oh
convenience
my
of
god,
getting
look
it
at those
quickly.
prices, guys.
However, today, the same can't be said. It's not breaking news.
It's like $2, $3 for a hash brown. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm getting 1 patty. Oh my god, back then you used to be able to pay like $2 and you can get 3. That shit is ridiculous.
But fast food is rarely fast anymore, and it's becoming pretty
Fuck that, I'll
expensive
learn
for
how to
what
make
the
my own
quality
hash
is.
browns.
Now, over the last 2 decades, rising costs have hit the industry hard. real estate prices, minimum wage increases, and supply chain.
And you don't even see McDonald's play areas. I mean, they probably still exist, but they don't be popping up. And all McDonald's is doing is just adding more places. And the CEOs are making millions of dollars. Like, come on, you're telling me that the top 50 people in McDonald's probably got a payroll of $1 billion, $2 billion total. Shit, if not more. I'm just talking payroll. And prices are this bad, you know?
Inefficiencies started driving up costs. Add to that the
Food
increasing
is that cheap.
costs of beef, chicken, potatoes, along with paper
Like how you make a cheap ass McDonald's burger even more fake and cheap. That shit is crazy.
products. And suddenly, the simple, cheap burger wasn't so cheap to make anymore. These changes laid the groundwork for the price hikes that we're seeing today, but they only tell part of the story. What's happening now feels different, like something has fundamentally shifted.
Oh, I'm sorry. Could you put her on, please?
Dude, this is a Wendy's restaurant.
Kevin. Okay.
But I have to keep it real. It's not just the rise in costs that are part of doing business. It's also factors like increases to advertising spend, ballooning executive compensation packages, along with significant investments into technology, like mobile apps for these companies. Oh, and of course, stock buybacks, returning billions of dollars to shareholders. But don't just take my word for it. Let's look at some of the numbers. According to the Federal Reserve's economic data, food away from home.
Just giving out game. One reason why a lot of these billionaires, tech company owners, the reason why they care about stocks so much is to pay less in taxes, to pretty much avoid paying an exorbitant amount of a big fucking amount of money. Let me not try and use big words. So people can dodge taxes. They put money into their stocks, or not even that, they get paid with shares of the company. And they consider that their holdings, because you don't get taxed on something that you don't have. Like, you own the share, but until you sell the share, then it's all another shit. But guys, it's all about money.
Which is the category that includes
It's all
fast
about
food.
filling
This rose
someone's
roughly
pockets.
28.5% over
That
the
shit is
last 5
crazy.
years. But general overall inflation
Ooh, it's been a second since I've looked at a CPI sheet. If y'all don't understand what CPI means, it's the cost price index. It represents how the cost of things has increased correlating to time. Like, I don't know, this is an economics class, but I enjoyed econ. I guess that's percentage. Food away from home. See, we got to use our critical thinking skills in 2025. I'm going to teach y'all. When we're looking at a graph, we're going to look at the x-axis and we're going to look at the y-axis.
inflation rose only 24%. Now, at a first glance, these price hikes might seem like a logical reaction to the rising costs of inflation. But let's dig a bit deeper. While the cost of doing business has increased, profit margins at many major chains have held steady or even grown.
Yeah,
Take McDonald's, for instance. Despite facing higher expenses, their operating margins climbed to nearly 46% in 2023, up from around 41% in 2019. Now, that's not just covering costs, that's thriving. And if you don't think operating margin is the best indicator to decide this, let's look at their net profit margin. It's gone up from 28% right before the pandemic hit, all the way up to over 33% in 2024. Now, this has led McDonald's to begin to take some drastic measures to try to convince customers they not only aren't being greedy, but also that they still can provide value with their menu. But more on that in a moment. This pattern isn't unique to McDonald's, though. Chipotle has reported record revenues fueled by menu price increases of nearly 15% over the last 2 years. In fact, during the making of this video, they just announced another 2% price increase to their menu.
You Chipotle addicts are mad. I bet that's... Oh, man. See, I like to make my own burritos at home.
Which brings the total number of price hikes to 7 times
Chipotle
since
ain't bad,
2021. And Chipotle technically isn't fast food and is more in the category of fast casual dining, but they still are a part of that food away from home stat that I provided from the Federal Reserve.
One of the main people on
And so we can
DoorDash.
still learn a lot about their recent financial performance over the years. Chipotle's net margin is higher now than ever before and has been steadily climbing since the pandemic. However, the margins did tank before the pandemic due to foodborne illness issues the company was facing. But if we also look at their revenue and net income, that has also been rising steadily since the last quarter of 2020. And here's the kicker. Chipotle's former CEO, Brian Niccol, earned over $17 million in 2022 and over $22 million in 2023, including significant bonuses tied to the company's
And that's only
profitability.
gonna
This is
go
over
up.
1,300 times the median pay of a Chipotle worker. Now, whether you think the CEO is worth 1,300 times the average worker or not, it's clear that they are making more money now than ever before. And Chipotle also just announced in July that they were authorizing a $400 million stock buyback program, essentially funneling excess cash back to shareholders instead of, reinvesting it into operations or finding out ways to keep prices stable. Additionally, Yum Brands, which owns Taco Bell, KFC, and Pizza Hut, instituted price hikes in 2023 and cited that it was a last resort option, while later that year clocking in a 21% increase in total revenue over its pre-pandemic earnings.
You guys remember what I said? These owners, the people higher up, they be getting paid in shares. So
Now, since
as your shares increase, you get paid in shares instead of just 100K in cash. Cash is depreciating. Your shares going to appreciate with the company.
then, executives at the company have authorized a $2 billion share repurchase program, returning $678 million to its shareholders. Now, there's no secret here that greater amounts of capital are being redirected to corporate level costs, such as C-level executive compensation. Now, critics argue that inflation has become a convenient excuse for these price hikes. Yes, labor and ingredient costs are up, but why are executive salaries soaring at the same time? Why are companies increasing ad budgets and launching multi-million-dollar stock buybacks while citing higher costs as the reason for passing price increases onto consumers? Now, in some cases, the numbers suggest these companies are taking advantage of inflationary pressures to pad their profits. In fact,
Personally, I think that's really what it is. I think all of these companies are like, oh, COVID, inflation's hitting. Oh, they raised minimum wage. Well, not even federal, but all of this. So we have to raise our prices to $12, $15. We gotta raise it to how much we gotta raise it to where you spend 1 hour of your life working for this meal. Shit, if you got kids, hey, you gonna spend 2 hours of your life. You know what I mean? Like, bro. Again, costs and everything went up, but prices shouldn't have gone up that much. Prices should realistically be like $12 for a meal. Like, in my mindset, when I go out to eat, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna spend this much. If I can't get this much, I'm either not gonna eat here, or I'm gonna find a discount. I'm gonna find a way to where I could get something I enjoy that's within the budget. Because I'm not spending a dumb amount on food. Like, I like food and I will spend money on food more than anything. But, shit, I'm not spending that much on food because that's how people go broke. And yes, the food's good, but 24 hours, you're going to want something else.
recent analysis from the Economic Policy Institute found that corporate profits accounted for
See, and that's where price gouging comes in, because food is something that we need every day. So they're like, oh, it's a replenishable source. This is a cash cow we could just milk. Milk it till it's dry and all the people are obese and die.
Over 40% of price increases across several industries during the pandemic recovery period. Now, while fast food isn't singled out in this analysis, it does seem to fit into this broader trend.
Fuck. That's why I can't watch videos about food. Now I want food. But instead of getting in my car and going to a fast food restaurant because I'm not lazy enough. First of all, when I didn't have a whip, I was lazy. I would go to DoorDash. There was a Domino's walking distance from my place. First time I ever ordered there, I was like, oh shit, because I delivered it. The driver was looking at me like, what the fuck, dude? Ever since then, I've just walked over. I've just walked there. Because I'm not lazy. And save you like $3. Delivery fee, no tip. Over time, it adds up. Shit, driving. Oh, I'm saving my gas. I have to go there and back. Shut the fuck up. Or plan on your way back home. Plan to get something. Have it ordered for pickup. Save you some money. Get some points so you, by the 5th time you do the delivery, you know what I mean? Like there's ways around everything. People complain that the economy is fucked, but personally I believe there's hope. I mean, hey, by the way things are looking, we're not going in a recession. Shit, I don't know how, but statistically, the economics show that we aren't. But when we look at markets, as job markets, car dealerships, when we look at food, everything looks like it's going down. But shit, stocks are going up, so invest, guys.
This narrative has led to a huge disconnect from corporations to their consumers, particularly around their pricing and the value propositions they offer. But the interesting thing here is some of these companies are faring much better than others. Chipotle, for example, is continuing to grow in spite of their price hikes.
The sports industry. There's no reason why regular people should be getting paid multi-million dollars. Now, I'm not hating, but I literally made a video on this on the main channel. NBA players get paid way too much. If instead LeBron was getting paid $10 million for 3 seasons. If the largest player was getting even a $15-20 million per season. Some of these players are clocking in like 33 mil per season, which is ridiculous. You're telling me you're a grown-ass man. You can't live off 10K a year. You can't live off 10 mil a year. You can't survive off 5 million a year. Boo-hoo, nigga. People are struggling. People are literally dying. Yet these people are just literally using their money in the dumbest ways. Like, oh God. When I touch money, like when I touch a dummy amount of money, I pray that I'm the type to be entrepreneurial and give it, not entrepreneurial, but fucking be. Bruh, it's one of my off days. You know, the vocab ain't hitting like that. Brain just trying to relax, but I definitely would be a philanthropist. Finding good places to donate to, because realistically, a lot of places under the name of charity, under the name of money, fake like they're doing this shit. That's why when people say they donate to charity, I'm just like, okay, man, you could either be doing it for tax write-offs, or you could probably know someone in that charity, and it sucks because that's supposed to be a good thing. But hey, the greed and the love of the game, the love of money, causes people to do shit like this. But let's wrap this video up.
And they also historically haven't offered any sort of value meal. While restaurants like McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Taco Bell, and others are all trying to entice customers,
Fast food, the new luxury, up.
By trying to add more value deals to their menus. But of course, fast food chains have their side of the story too. They argued that these price hikes are a necessity not some evil choice. And their executives have pointed to some real pressures: rising wages, volatile supply chains, and of course inflation, as reasons why fast food just...
Oh yeah, and laws, like government laws cutting down how much freedom farmers have to grow their crops. I'm not talking about pesticides and shit. I'm talking about legally farmers being able to reproduce crops and plants strictly because there are certain guidelines farmers have to follow. Farmers have to buy specific seeds and shit. Like, it's ridiculous. Guys, check out your local farmers market, you know?
Isn't as cheap as it used to be. Now, back in May of 2024, social media posts about an $18
That's
Big Mac meal
ridiculous.
went so viral that McDonald's actually had to begin a campaign trying to
Hold up.
debunk some of the myths that were being spread about their prices. Remember this graph from
Let me
earlier?
check my phone.
Yeah, well, McDonald's disagrees with a lot of it. The nuance behind this is that while data on its own is rather objective, the way in which data can be presented often is very subjective, including this video here. However, in their blog post, McDonald's cited bits of information from the article labeling them as myths.
Greed and price
like,
gouging.
quote, McDonald's raised prices at a
104%.
rate nearly double the national rate of inflation. And over in their facts
Myth.
section, trying to combat this, they mentioned that over the last 5 years, prices have increased around 40% due to higher input costs such as salaries, food, and paper products. And
40%. Past 5 years. 5 years. What's 10% of 40%? 14. Yeah, I mean, that sounds about right.
while that may be very well true, the article cites McDonald's menu prices have doubled 100% since 2014 across...
Okay. I'm on McDonald's app. Big Mac meal, $11.29. McCrispy meal, $10.79. I'm seeing like 11. Okay. Double bacon quarter pounder with cheese, $13.99. $9.29 if you just want the burger. $9 for a fucking burger. I'd rather get a good burger for like $5 more, you know? They still got the cheap shit. Like, you could get a McDouble for like $4. Double hamburger for $3.70. A regular hamburger for $3, but still. That shit used to be $1. A double hamburger used to be $2. Fish fillet, $6. That shit used to be $3. Like, you know what I mean? People don't forget, especially when you like. I wonder how. Okay, us young people, we're just like, yeah, we're fucked. We're used to it. But the people who are in their 70s now, people who are 50s, people who were there when McDonald's started off, people who were there to see the start of fast food. I wonder how they're feeling about shit now, you know, especially the fact that they're not working. Shit.
across popular items, the highest of any chain we analyzed. But okay, let's just assume McDonald's was confused on this, and they cited from 2019 on as opposed to what the article says, which is 2014. So what about another myth? Well, once again, McDonald's cites the article quoting, McDonald's medium fries have increased by 138% since 2019. But McDonald's claims the truth is the average price of a medium fry in 2019 was $2.29, and now in 2024, the average price is $3.29. Okay.
Okay, but still, that's $1 change. That's 25 cents every single year.
Well, the article actually says that the 138% increase is from 2014 to 2024,
10
not
years.
2019. Now, I could go on, but I think you're starting to get the point. Okay, but there are some who argue that rising wages are really the one to blame for high menu prices.
And I talked about this in my AI video. Personally, I believe that fast food was the first to get hit with, in Cali, it's $20 wages. I feel like that because they want people in California to not have fast food workers. They want them to be like, hey, look, these robots are cheaper. Instead of paying 20 an hour, you could just buy one and it's good for like 6 months, a year. I don't know.
Claiming this trend of increased minimum wage could lead to job losses and widespread restaurant closures. However, the evidence suggests otherwise. Economists at the Economic Policy Institute have extensively researched this issue and found that higher wages would likely have the opposite effect, modestly stimulating consumer demand, boosting business activity, and creating job growth. Okay, but what about fast food prices? Are they rising because of higher wages? Well, yes, but not entirely for the reasons you might think. Price increases in the fast food industry are part of a long-standing trend, not a sudden phenomenon caused by wage hikes. Because while the consumer price index for all items rose by 3.2% between April 2022 and April 2023, fast food prices surged 5.2%, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Meanwhile, the cost of groceries increased by only 1% during that time. But that was then, and this is now, and fast food has been getting desperate over the last year.
Yeah.
McDonald's has had to really try to entice
But groceries, oh my god. Like, shit, even last year it was like $5 for eggs. Now it's like $7. $6 for eggs. Now it's $7. This shit is ridiculous. I gotta pay $12 if I want 2 dozen.
Customers with their nationwide $5 value meal, and many competitors have followed suit. Burger King offered their $5 meal, Wendy's did a $4 meal deal, and Taco Bell launched a $3 value deal, all in an attempt to increase traffic to their stores. Now, it's clear they have a real problem on their hands, not only in terms of general sentiment around their value propositions, but also in regards to pricing. But fast food companies also have to reckon with fast casual offerings eating away at their market share. Chipotle, Kava, and Sweetgreen have all reported a much different outlook on this matter.
Heard of Sweetgreen.
And while yes, they typically attract
Kava.
a higher income cohort, it's not only them that are buying these products. Kava, the Mediterranean chain, only raised prices 12% from 2019 to 2023. And as a result, they reported increases to their top and bottom lines.
Okay, but guys, as the cheaper shit increases, gives us a better chance to go find the stuff that's more, either A, more affordable like groceries and other alternatives, or B, gives us a chance to try the quote-unquote luxury shit, which is now normal price.
Now, of course, they have a much smaller footprint than McDonald's, but when that Big Mac is contesting the prices of some of these fast casual offerings, it seems like an inevitable shift is bound to occur here. And even casual sit-down restaurants like Applebee's and Chili's are getting involved into this value war.
Really?
Chili's 3-for-me meal deal for $10.99 has created a resurgence in traffic
I've been seeing those Applebee values everywhere
to their restaurants, resulting in their foot traffic soaring 33%, which capped off
apparently
6
it's
straight
working.
months of increases. So are the higher prices just the costs of doing business? I don't see how one could come to that conclusion with how much profits have increased over the last 5 years for most of these chains. To me, this does seem like some good old-fashioned corporate greed, masked in layers of manipulation and excuses. And now for fast food places like McDonald's, Burger King, and others, customers not only have to battle with higher prices, but also with the lack of convenience and quality of the food itself. Because at the end of the day, when all is said and done, infinite growth is the goal. And the fiduciary duty to shareholders comes before customers, employees, suppliers, or vendors. But it is really interesting to see how some companies simply choose to operate differently while still achieving success. If you want to learn
All right, and that's where the video ends. Adobe Video established context. But guys, if y'all are struggling with food prices or fast food or anything, A, learn how to fast. Not eating is the best way to deal with that, but don't starve yourself. Definitely learn how to cook at home so you could have at least 1 or 2 meals a week just to prep so you're not spending too much money. Learn how to shop for cheap groceries. Learn how to find discounts and get food that you can afford, and when you go to fast food, not ball out, because it's just fucking fast food. And I would say one of the biggest things when it comes to food and stuff and money, try to check those small purchases, as in like, oh, at my daily coffee, or every time I stop by the gas station or the store, I pick up this or that, you know what I mean? But hey, let me know your guys' experience when it comes to fast food. Shit, I'm probably gonna go chop me up some fries, make me some fries, and yeah. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.